All right, let's talk about something you've probably seen popping up on your social media feeds, this trend of putting castor oil in your belly button. It sounds, well, a little weird, right? But the claims are absolutely huge. So we're going to dig in and figure out what's really going on here. So have you seen this? It's all over the place. People are massaging castor oil into their navel, and they're claiming it does everything from helping with weight loss to giving your body a full detox. It's one of those trends that makes you stop and ask, wait, is there anything to this? So this practice actually has a name. It's called navel pulling. And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You apply oil to the navel, you massage it in, and the people who swear by it say it's a secret key to better health. But before we even get to the science, you kind of have to wonder, where did this whole idea even come from in the first place? Well, it turns out this is not some brand new TikTok invention. Like a lot of wellness trends we see today, this one has roots that go way, way back, long before the internet was even a thing. The idea actually comes from Ayurvedic medicine, which is an ancient holistic system from India. And the whole concept really revolves around this one key idea, something called the Pituitary gland. Okay, so here's the theory. The belief is that this Pituitary gland is sitting right there behind your belly button, and it's this massive hub, like a super highway of thousands of blood vessels. And the idea is that this spot can absorb oils and then deliver all their benefits straight into your system. This gland is literally the entire foundation that this trend is built on. And this slide just perfectly illustrates what's happened, right? You have this ancient belief about absorption through the navel, and then social media gets a hold of it. And it gets supercharged into these wild claims of being a miracle cure for everything: weight loss, digestion, even really serious medical conditions like endometriosis. All of it based on personal stories and anecdotes. Okay, so we've got the ancient theory and the modern claims. Let's switch gears. It's time to bring in the science and see what the actual hard evidence has to say about all this. We have to start with the most fundamental question of all. This Pituitary gland, the entire basis for this whole practice, is it even a real part of human anatomy? And the answer, from medical science and anatomy, is a very clear and simple no, it doesn't exist. Your belly button isn't some mystical chordal. It's just a scar. It's what's left over from where your umbilical cord was attached before you were born. That's it. And this is what's so fascinating when you put the two side by side. The myth says there's this hub of thousands of blood vessels just waiting to absorb oils. The anatomical reality? Well, your umbilical cord only had 3 blood vessels. And after you're born, they close up and just turn into simple ligaments. There's no active network there anymore. Okay, fine. So the main mechanism they talk about is a total myth. But maybe the practice still works for some other reason we don't know about? Has anyone actually studied this? Are there any scientific, peer-reviewed studies on putting castor oil in your belly button? When you actually search the scientific literature for terms like navel pulling or castor oil belly button, you know what you find? A big, fat 0. There are no studies. There is no body of scientific evidence out there to back up any of these big health claims. So does that mean the whole thing is completely useless? Well, not necessarily. Sometimes, even inside a debunked trend, you can find these little kernels of truth. So let's try to separate the parts here. When you really break it down, navel pulling is actually 2 different things happening at once. You've got the castor oil and you've got the massage. Now, castor oil on its own, when put on the skin, is a pretty good moisturizer. It's rich in fatty acids. And separately, abdominal massage is actually supported by science. We have meta-analyses that show it can help with constipation. So here's the key takeaway. Any small benefits people feel are likely coming from these 2 things, not from some magical absorption through the belly button. So, if you're actually looking for better digestion and navel pulling isn't the evidence-backed answer, what should you be doing? Let's take a quick look at what really works. And first, let's not throw castor oil out completely. It does have one FDA-approved medical use for digestion, but it has absolutely nothing to do with your belly button. You have to take it orally, by mouth, where it's approved as a stimulant laxative. You know, for real, long-term digestive health, the answers are pretty much the ones we've always known about because they're proven to work. Eating enough fiber, staying hydrated, getting regular exercise. If you struggle with bloating, maybe reducing certain foods can help. And of course, there are very effective over-the-counter options. And it's always a good idea to see a doctor if issues just don't go away. And since detox is one of the biggest buzzwords tied to navel pulling, we absolutely have to talk about this for a second. There is a really critical warning you need to hear about the whole concept of detoxing. I mean, don't just take my word for it. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health puts it very plainly. They say there is little to no scientific evidence that these detox regimens work. And what's worse, they can actually come with some pretty serious health risks. Your body already has an amazing detox system. It's called your liver and your kidneys. So let's wrap this all up. The bottom line is this: navel pulling is not an evidence-based miracle cure. Its entire foundation, the pituitary gland, is a myth. It just doesn't exist. Any small, nice feelings people might get from it likely come from the simple act of massage or the moisturizing properties of the oil. For real, reliable results, you gotta stick to the proven lifestyle changes and get actual medical advice. Honestly, this trend is a perfect case study in how an idea with ancient roots can get twisted into a modern myth online. And it leaves us with a really important final thought. The next time you see a super simple fix for a really complex problem go viral, what questions are you going to ask before you buy in?